The cabin lights flickered as the red-eye flight from Atlanta to Seattle began to roll down the runway. Bianca Rivers, a 32-year-old single black mother and registered nurse, clutched her son Eli's hand as they walked toward row 14. The fatigue of a double shift still hung in her bones, but there was a quiet pride in her stride. This trip to see her grandmother was more than a vacation, it was a victory she had earned through months of sacrifice. Eli, only 8, with a mess of curls and a Spider-Man hoodie 2 sizes too big, hummed a tune softly as he followed her down the aisle. His worn backpack bounced against his back with every step, and Bianca couldn't help but smile at his quiet resilience. It was late, and he was sleepy, but she saw the flicker of excitement in his eyes every time he looked out the window at the floodlit tarmac. Bianca checked her tickets again, 14A and 14B. She'd triple-checked them already, but she still glanced down one more time before reaching the row. But her smile faded the moment she looked up. A man was already in their seats. He was in his mid-40s, salt and pepper hair slicked back, polished shoes on the tray table, scrolling through his phone with complete indifference. His tailored suit didn't belong in Coach, and neither, apparently, did his ego. "Excuse me," Bianca said gently but firmly. "I think you're in our seats." He didn't even look up. "I paid extra for this," he muttered, his voice soaked in condescension. "You're mistaken, sweetheart." Bianca's jaw tensed. She'd been called sweetheart too many times in the ER by men who thought her brown skin meant she worked reception instead of saving lives. She raised her boarding passes. 14A and B. "That's us." The man smirked. "Well, looks like it's a free country." Her son's fingers tightened around hers. "Mom," he asked in a whisper. "It's okay, baby," she said softly, though her heart was pounding. "We're just going to get some help." Bianca waved to the nearest flight attendant, a tall, lean woman with icy blue eyes and a name tag that read Chelsea Vaughn. She walked over, clipboard in hand, her ponytail bouncing with each click of her heels. "What's the issue?" Chelsea asked without a hint of warmth. Bianca explained calmly. Showed the tickets. Chelsea didn't even take them, just glanced at the man. "Sir, are these your seats?" He shrugged. "They're seats. I sat." End of story. Chelsea turned to Bianca. "We're full tonight. You'll need to find other seats." Bianca blinked. "What?" "You heard me," Chelsea snapped. "We're fully booked. Please don't make a scene." Bianca felt the stares. Row after row of faces turned in judgment. Whispers floated through the stale air. "Always something with these people," someone muttered. Bianca's voice trembled, but not with fear. With fury. "I paid for these seats. I worked double shifts for them. We're not moving." Chelsea rolled her eyes. "Security will handle it." And that's when Eli began to cry. Silently, trembling against his mother's hip. A college kid 3 rows back, scruffy beard. Faded hoodie, pulled out his phone and hit record. "This is racism," he said loudly. Chelsea snapped, "Put that away." But it was too late. The video was live. The internet never sleeps. 5 minutes later, a senior attendant emerged from the galley. Her name was Leona Bishop. Her uniform was slightly rumpled, her hair graying, but her presence radiated calm authority. "What's going on here?" Leona asked. Bianca held out her passes. "I paid for these. That man's in our seats. No one will do anything." Leona studied the tickets, her brow creasing. She turned to the man. "Sir, your pass." "Lost it," he grunted. "But I'm fine where I am." Leona nodded slowly. "Let me check the manifest." Bianca's pulse slowed for the first time. Maybe, just maybe, but when Leona returned, she was frowning. "There's been a system glitch," she said softly. "These seats were reassigned." Chelsea grinned. The man smirked wider. "No," Bianca whispered. "No, this can't be right." Leona's apology was quiet, but the betrayal screamed in Bianca's ears. They were choosing him over her son. And then Chelsea raised her radio. "Security, row 14. We have a non-compliant passenger." Bianca shook her head. "This is madness. I'm not leaving." 2 guards appeared within seconds. Their expressions unreadable. "Ma'am," one said, "please come with us." "My son." "Now." Eli's sobs shattered what little strength she had left. They were escorted to row 23, a middle seat between a man snoring with his mouth open and a teen blasting music. Bianca held her son tightly, feeling her dignity slip away. But the night wasn't over. Chelsea returned later with coffee. She paused beside their row, smiled coldly, and tipped the entire pot into Eli's lap. His scream tore through the cabin. Bianca reacted instantly, ripping off her scarf, cooling the burns, trying to soothe his blistering skin. Passengers gasped. Chelsea feignait surprise. Oops, must have slipped. You did that on purpose, Bianca said through gritted teeth. Chelsea flipped on the intercom. Attention, passengers. A child has been injured due to parental negligence. Please remain calm. That lie was too much. Bianca's hands were still treating Eli's burns when Chelsea leaned down and hissed, "Let's see you fight this now." Later, it would come out that the man who stole her seats, Bryce Vaughn, was Chelsea's cousin, a small-time local politician from Georgia. His face on billboards, his ego in the clouds. Bianca thought it couldn't get worse, but it did. Chelsea framed her. When security returned, they didn't check facts. They didn't listen. Bryce claimed Bianca had assaulted him. Chelsea nodded. She's been aggressive since boarding. Eli screamed as his mother was cuffed in the aisle. Ryan, the college kid, shouted over the commotion. She didn't do anything. No one cared. Bianca's purse was ripped open. Inside Plantet was a small bag of white powder. "She's a dealer," Chelsea whispered to security. "I saw her handing stuff off earlier." And just like that, the plane diverted to Boise. Eli was dragged off in tears. A social worker was already waiting. "We're taking the boy. He's my son," Bianca screamed. "I'm a nurse. This is all a lie." But her words meant nothing in a world trained not to hear her voice. She was booked, fingerprinted, locked in a holding cell. Her hospital ID? Irrelevant. Her nurse's oath? Dismissed. Her motherhood? Torn from her hands like trash. Hours passed. Then Ryan showed up with footage. All of it. And not just from his phone. A tip had come in. Bank statements. Wire transfers. Vaughn's accounts. Chelsea's falsified logs. A massive embezzlement scheme using flight manifests and travel expense accounts. The seat reassignment was part of it. The coffee incident? Punishment. The drug plant? Diversion. Bianca's story exploded online. By dawn, the FBI had raided Bryce Vaughn's home. Chelsea was arrested on the tarmac, trying to board a private jet. Their empire collapsed. And Bianca? She was cleared. But justice came too late for peace. When she was reunited with Eli, his skin was bandaged, his trust shaken. He whimpered as she held him. "Mommy, are they gone?" "They will be," she promised. "I swear." The airline issued an apology. Too little. Too late. Chelsea lost her job. Bryce lost his campaign. Their power was a myth exposed. But one scar remained. Leona Bishop, the senior attendant who claimed the system glitch, she vanished. With millions. It turned out she wasn't just complicit, she was the architect. The money laundering ledger. The rerouted seat manifests. All tied back to her. She'd earned everyone's trust, and then disappeared with the evidence. Still, Bianca stood tall. She went live, told her story, raised her voice not just for herself, but for every black woman who'd ever been silenced, dismissed, erased. Her scars were proof. Her son's smile was her vindication. And the world? It listened. At last.